in some times, man, and this kind of goes a little bit to the thing about Killer Mike, which we'll get into. But
Yeah, because I'm
talk
curious.
about rap.
We're talking about rap, but I'm curious about that though.
So the thing about Killer Mike, um, I didn't see the video that Killer Mike that everybody's responding to about Killer Mike because I've pretty much deleted Killer Mike from my mental space. Killer Mike is obviously an incredibly talented artist, and when he won the Grammys. It was supposed to be a good moment for him and all of that shit. But uh, you know who Brian Kemp is?
Not to, it's political. No, not to say I.
Brian Kemp is the governor of Georgia.
Okay.
Brian Kemp is one of the most anti-democratic sort of political figures in the country, certainly in the South. Brian Kemp he ran against Stacey Abrams and he beat Stacey Abrams. Brian Kemp was he secretary? He was not the attorney general, but like the secretary of state. He was the person that's in charge of overseeing elections for the state, and he was also running for governor. So they closed certain precincts. They did all kinds of shit. He did all kinds of shit while he was in that position, and then also running for governor, and then of course he wins governor. Now granted, he's a white Republican man in Georgia, so he might have won anyway, but this was at the height of Stacey Abrams, and we really kind of thought we was that she was going to win. And so Brian Kemp wins. Brian Kemp becomes the governor. Brian Kemp is very much anti-democratic, very much anti black rights. You know what I'm saying? He's one of these guys. He's not a full Trump fan because Trump kind of put him in a bad spot with that whole "go find me 11,000 votes." You
Mm.
know that because that was Georgia, and he kind of put Kemp on blast because that would have obviously been something that was blatantly illegal. So he didn't do it, and then now he's not a big Trump fan, and that kind of set him back. But he's a big dude, and Killer Mike, pro-black Killer Mike, super intelligent Killer Mike, well-read Killer Mike, everybody who respects. All of a sudden, Killer Mike pops up in Brian Kemp's office,
Mm.
and he does a photo shoot with him. A real corny, a real what the fuck are you doing there? A photo shoot. I think he did the Run the Jewel symbol in there, like a real photo shoot with Killer Mike, Brian Kemp, and Brian Kemp's wife in the governor's office, and it was like, what the fuck are you doing in Brian Kemp's office?
Is that the whole
And
conversation or what? Oh, all right.
yeah, I mean, like they would pictures, conversation. They published the photos, the whole thing, and it wasn't on some like, yo, man, I'm here to advocate for, and maybe it was, but
I mean, and I'm about to say that was my whole question. I was say what's the whole story because if Killer Mike is here and we see him when we take pictures and now we're mad, I want to know what the conversation was. And that's not me caping help saying that I know it was something good. That is me
mhm.
saying that I hope it was something good. I say that I
it
give him that much. Go ahead.
the argument is it doesn't matter what the conversation is. You don't need to be up there. Like that's we don't belong there. We belong outside protesting against this person. It's just it's one step away from Kanye West being in the Oval Office, essentially, like, and Killer Mike will tell you, hey man, I was out there advocating for us and talking about us and that. Well, the flip side of that is that Killer Mike has been vocal about not being fully supportive of Stacey Abrams, not being fully supportive of Kamala Harris, also being somebody who he said that the Republicans and the Democrats are the same side or two different side of a slave house. And he did that on a speaking panel where Candace Owens was also speaking. Killer Mike has been known to be a little bit too wishy-washy with his pro-blackness, a
Mm.
little too wishy-washy with the whole I don't agree with Democrats and I don't agree with Republicans. Like, what's the difference between Democrats and Republicans? Well, this week and last week, we now know what the difference between Democrats and Republicans are. Republicans have overturned the Voting Rights Act. Republicans have, if you haven't been keeping up with this for everybody who's watching, Republicans have overturned the Civil Rights Act, the Civil Rights Movement. What you guys understand to be the civil rights movement, Selma, the Edward Pettus Bridge, MLK, Medgar Evans, the Republicans have officially overturned the Civil Rights Act. And so Killer Mike made some kind of video where he was like, yo, man, what we got to really do is we got to really come together. That was the tone of the video. I didn't see it. I was wondering why everybody was dragging him because they 5 years late for me. I've been on this bag and wag for a minute now. Remember, you and I on your show, I came on and I said rappers aren't meeting the moment. Remember, this was a long time ago. I said
Mm.
this, and so essentially, people were like, "Killer Mike, black men like you are why we're here. You didn't support Kamala Harris. You didn't support Stacey Abrams. You were in Brian Kemp's office taking pictures. Yeah, maybe you call yourself trying to advance our causes, but you being in there taking those pictures and then going out on the internet speaking out against black women that are trying to take power, you are a part of you Kanye West, people like you gave a permission structure to other black men to question the movement that was happening. And yes, you don't have to agree with Democrats on every single thing, but you have openly questioned what the difference is between Republicans and Democrats. And here we are today, the Civil Rights Act, the Civil Rights Movement, and the Voting Rights Act is now gone. And you
It's
were a
funny
part
because
of that. He was a part of that. He deserves that criticism.
it's funny because me and my lady, I ain't say got into it, but we were talking about this yesterday when it comes to voting.
Hmm.
I am a person that does vote,
Hmm.
but I am a person that also gets irritated by voters being mad at the people who don't vote.
Hmm.
And like I said last night, I get mad at voters being mad at people who don't want to play this game.
Hmm.
And I don't understand why you're mad. It's like y'all be wanting us to vote. We watch y'all vote, and now y'all just as mad because we're not because they don't care about the rules on the other side.
They
So it's
don't.
like
That's correct.
so my whole thing is like and it's crazy because it's not like I'm saying I'm not going to vote. I'm going to vote. It's just like I'm
Hmm.
not going to be mad at this dude because he didn't vote because he's seen the game. It's just like niggas that don't give a fuck about that don't buy into all these games. Like
Hmm.
it just that's a whole nother 16 or whatever. But
Yeah.
and I was curious about the Killer Mike joint because I like Killer Mike or I like Killer Mike because of the questioning that he does. I
Hmm.
had no problem with anything that you said that he does
Hmm.
besides the timing. I have no problem when you bringing up concerns that you have against Kamala or
Hmm.
Stacey, but not right now because
Hmm.
it's really just it's I don't really do the Republican Democrat thing, but this is more of a right versus Trump thing. So
Right.
it's not the time to play those. Like back in the day, we could have had those conversations. Once we get through this, we can kind of have those conversations. Need to come together. But right
Yeah.
now, we're just a nigga in there doing what the fuck he want to do. So it's pretty plain which side to be on. I
Right.
will say all that because
Correct.
I'm definitely a
Correct.
person that watching Trump do what he does. I am a person that's like, yo, why are we caring so much about voting instead of uniting and
Hmm.
actually doing something with the power that we have instead of getting
Here.
these lines and votings and stuff, and they don't give
Yeah.
a fuck about that. They don't change any fucking rules. They do what the
Yeah.
fuck they want to do.
Well,
And it's
they
and it,
they they use the voting to change the rules. They basically what's been done. The people who have that position of I don't see the point of voting because I don't see the change. You have to understand that what's been done over the last 2 weeks is why these people they use the legal mechanisms that they have to take away our rights.
but I mean, but
And you know what I'm saying,
Here in Virginia, if we just won the vote by voting, and they was like, nah.
bro?
So that's what I'm saying. So
Bro,
why are we mad? Why are we mad at my homeboy that didn't vote in Virginia when I did vote
yeah.
and we won, but
And
we
we
lost.
won
But we
because the
lost.
Supreme
So
Court, the people that are in the Supreme Court were appointed by people who we elected. That's why. Because had those people not been elected, they wouldn't have been able to put those people in the Supreme Court to make this is all a long game.
hmm
When I say they overturned the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, this is 60 years in the making, bro.
hmm
The guy in the Supreme Court who authored all this, who did all this, he was a clerk for Reagan. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? These people's life's work is to take away our freedom. And so we have to use every leverage. It's nothing that you're saying is wrong. And the the sentiment of the person who is frustrated with voting, of course he's not wrong. Of course he's right. But we need him and we need her. We need every fucking lever that we can push because they're doing it. You want to know why voting is so important? Ask yourself why they're trying to take our votes away. That's the answer. We need everything. And to bring it back to Killer Mike, think of the equal, every action has an equal and opposite energy, right? If Killer Mike had done the alternative, been big, loud, Killer Mike, proud, outspoken, loud, Kamala, Stacy, we gotta come together. I don't agree with them on everything, but they black women, and I'm fucking with them. If Killer Mike would have not even done that, if Killer Mike would have just been Pusha T, right? Pusha T is not over here with the politics, but we know he's right here. He'll come out and speak. He'll say what we know what side Pusha T stands on. You feel what I'm saying? Killer Mike was very much to the right of a Pusha T. And the black women, who are some of the most politically astute voters in this country, black women very rightfully have been questioning Killer Mike for a long time. And he deserves the smoke, and that's why he got it. So to not to take it too talk, we talk about voting or we talk about rap. Like you want to that's the explainer. That's the explainer. And I didn't see the video, but I have been very much side-eyeing people like Killer Mike, as you know, for a very long time because I think that rappers are too removed. Some of them are wealthy. Some of them are living in they come up being here's the bail that rappers deserve. I'll shoot them this bail. Rappers are anti-institutional, right? These are drug dealers. These are dudes who've been in jail. These are dudes who grew up and seeing that the democratic system did not work for them, which is why they sold drugs, which is why Nas dropped out of school at 14, and they made it anyway, right? So they're looking at these Democrat and Republican politicians, and they don't know the fucking difference because all I see is the same people that have been ruining my communities forever. And so now that it's time for them to understand politics, they don't understand it. They don't care to understand it, and they don't want to be a part of it because it's like you motherfuckers have been the enemy my whole life. So
But at the
now I got to
same time,
support you. It's like
at the
I
same
understand
time,
that. I
I,
understand
I
that.
I look at it like I understand. It's so funny because I'm coming from the side. I understand that voting is important. I just
Hmm.
feel like, not to quote the words of Killer Mike, but I feel like
Nah, that's
the
cool.
uniting part is more important. If we come together
Yes,
with our
yes, it is.
resources and if we give less a fuck about this and less a fuck about unimportant stuff and more fuck about more getting back to family, getting back to our roots, all that type of stuff, that will take generations and time.
Yeah,
That makes more important to me than
you're not wrong.
playing this game. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like when we do these quote unquote blackouts and not spend money,
Hmm.
half your people don't even do that.
Right.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? I feel like that
Yeah.
would have a lot more, that would be able to show us how much power we have, opposed to what we're trying to do now, which is vote. And they be like, nah, nigga, 20 years ago, we already enacted what's going to fuck y'all up right now. Because, like you said, we ain't been paying attention. But me withholding my resources, me
Hmm.
focuses on different stuff, me focuses
Hmm.
on my family and my household and my community and shit. Like,
Hmm.
it's so crazy. Like, projects would be the dope. Projects would be the wealthiest, dopest places in the world.
If
That's a
they just
random. That's a
if they
random ass
just stuck
statement.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah. I
random ass
feel you.
statement. But bro, if you look at like all the gold that's in every single fucking project, because that's what we are most of the time.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's but because of the system, the way the shit goes, we're enemies to each other.
Yes.
We're fucking enemies from the birth. And then when you're
Correct.
able to vote, you don't know what to do because it the wrong stuff on the plate. Like I said, I
What
understand that we're
you're
talking about rap. I
think about
understand we're
what you're
talking about
saying
rap,
though.
but this is our
Let
community.
me
We're
let
talking
me
about rap.
respond to what you're saying though, because I like what you said. We don't even do that, right? When it's time to unite. The blackouts, the economic blackouts and all that stuff, the way I look at it, those shits was the preseason game.
Mm,
Because it's time now. And we have and the target blackout, that worked, right? The organization part of it is working because people are coming together. Maybe they're not coming together in the numbers that we need, right?
mm,
but the infrastructure is being built. The infrastructure for resistance is being built, and even though we haven't all come together in the type of numbers that we want to make the impact that we want, I think we all know the blueprint of what we need to do. And you're saying it right now. We need to harness our power from everywhere, including the projects, right? And once the level of organization, once we can get back to the reason why the Bloods and the Crips and the Vice Lords and the Young Lords from the Puerto Rican New Yorkers, when we can get back to the reason that the Black Panthers, the reason that those organizations existed in the first place was to protect ourselves from them. When we can get back to that, then we can actually harness project power. And there's going to be a day coming real motherfucking soon where where we're going to be able to reach those young leaders in those communities and be like, yo, we actually need you here. You know what I'm saying? And to bring it back to Killer Mike, your message was right, but when it was time for us to unite, you didn't unite with us. That's
I
the
will
message.
agree. I definitely
He
will agree with
wasn't
that
with us.
because I got put on the Killer Mike during his trigger warning days with the Netflix joint, and I
Hmm.
love how he had us thinking. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So it was kind of weird to hear. Not even
There's a lot
it
to
was
love about him, man. There's a
yeah. So it
lot
was
to
kind
love
of weird
about
to
him.
hear all the flack he was getting when it comes to this political shit, and that's why I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to wait to hear from it. But it's more along the lines of yeah, but now ain't the time to just be acting like that. Don't think now. We need to do.
He's
And we
not
going
Kanye
now.
West. He's not Kanye West, and he's not so far off the reservation that he can't come back. And that,
He's not Stephen A. Smith.
but he needs to take this ass whipping that he's getting constructively, because everybody gets their ass whooped. Like you, when you remind me of some shit that I said 3 weeks ago that's contradicted some shit I'm saying today, that's an ass whooping for me. That makes me better. That makes me think about the shit that I'm saying and try to keep track of it. We need to hold each other accountable, and Killer Mike is being held accountable. And I hope that as an intelligent, strong, motherfucking successful black excellent man, that he could see that and listen to his own people telling him what's going on, and that we could all move in the right direction. Because Killer Mike, if you ever see this, we need you, bro. We need you. We needed you then, and you wasn't with us. We need you now. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, that's what it is. Talk about rap. Talk about voting. I hate, yo, man. I really hate. Okay, there we go. The fact that your shirt always be so showing, and my shirt don't never be showing, and of course I got an AmFam shirt on today. That's really really fucked up. But we gonna get it right. Um, I really like the fact that you send me this new list of like, hey, this is what I was listening to, because like I realize that like um I'm trying to get to shit and I don't see it all, and like this shit right here is like, oh man, like you found three projects that I would have absolutely been looking for that I did not find, that I absolutely want to talk about. Um
But you found
and
Action Bronson. I knew nothing about it.
Right.
That's
See,
crazy.
we gotta share notes of shit. Be better at set, and I want to be better at sending you the shit when I see it during the week, and I have like a little list of things.
I got to be better
But
at clicking on shit though.
yeah, there's that. Well, you got two hands on the steering wheel. That ain't your fault. So the thing that I wanted to talk about, I really wanted to talk about Action Bronson as the first thing I wanted to talk about, because I
Mm,
really think this is a super dope project.
okay.
But my head got blown off by listening to somebody named Deontay Hitchcock,
I knew it. I
who
fucking
I ain't
knew it.
never heard of in my fucking life. I think you put me on to him. Oh my God.
Knew it.
Can I just give you the floor? Can you tell me who this young man is before I talk about that project that he put out? Who the fuck
Honest,
is he?
honestly, no, because I bumped into him on one of those freestyle shows. I don't know if it's on the radar or Bars
I
on
knew it.
95,
I was like,
but
watch him
one of
have been in
those.
that cipher, and one of the niggas that I dissed in the cipher. I was like, watch that be with him and sitting in there hiding in plain sight.
Because like I said, it is funny because we talked about how you find out how you find new artists,
Yeah.
and I'm listening. I'm like, yo, this dude kind of dope. Let me check out his discography. I'm like, oh, and I told you I love people who can spit, who have clever metaphors, but talk about
Boy,
random stuff. And all
yo,
his songs about stuff like just random stuff. I love it, dog. He's so fucking creative. Oh, he's creative.
yo,
Him,
man.
him and anime kind of remind me of each other. He like,
Deontay Hitchcock, a junkie in the sun. Is that what
mm-hmm,
this is called?
mm-hmm.
A junkie in the sun. Put that up there with one of the best projects I've heard this year.
Okay, I
I
like
couldn't
that.
stop listening to that shit. I was like, who the fuck is this? Like this young man is out here rapping, and it's not just rapping, man. It's like the emotion, it's the hooks, it's the incredible beats, it's the vibes, it's the bars, the I was trying to keep track of the joints that I really really liked. um the Mr. Green Eyes was
Mm.
the one. I was like, yo man, like
Yeah,
this dude is,
Shawty.
yeah,
Some
Samara, yeah, Samara, whatever.
do you rock with her?
I follow her on Instagram, so she did something to get my fucking attention.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Green Eyes,
Smile, you're on
the
camera.
Junkie in the Sun, the very first joint out the gate, I believe. I'm trying to remember. Yo, man, or like, so we do this thing where we try to review something 12 hours after we heard it for the first time, and that could get difficult. That fucking shit goes. I'm going to be lit when I go to the gym today and this week. That shit is going. There's certain shit that IDK's project. I've gone back to it multiple times. This one, I'm gonna really sit with this one. This Deontay Hitchcock young man, I'm very excited to look into who he is and where he's from and what he looks like and all of this. I was trying to combine. He reminds me of Andre 3000 and JID. If Andre 3000 and JID came together, you know what I'm saying, and put their DNA in the petri dish to make a young man. That's who this kid sounds like
Mm.
to me. It like his he has that spit, but he has that perspective. He
Mm.
has that emotion. Like this shit. This is
But
this is hip
he
hop, man.
also
I'm
has
excited.
he also has that confidence to talk about something different, and that's what I really love about a lot of these young artists,
What
man.
did he say about cause really my life ain't shit? Like he got that one line. What did he say? Oh man, I was like, yo, you need to remember this. I was driving. He was like something about oh man, about how he borrowed two bands from his brother. He's like, really my life ain't shit right now, but I'm trying to, I just wanted to talk to him. I was like, young man, you have no idea who the star you're about to be, bro. I was like, I'm glad you just said your life ain't shit, because too many of us think that our life is determined by what we have in our fucking pocket. And I'm like, bro, the art that you just put out here, you know what I'm saying? Like this is some legendary shit that you just did right here, man. And I really just yeah, I'm gonna leave with that because that project is incredible. Um I wanted so you didn't hear Bronson?
No, I made it through like 3 or 4 tracks on the way home. I didn't get to finish it.
The Bronson, and I realized that he's put out a few projects over the last few years that I kind of didn't all the way listen to, the um oh man, I'm always bad with finding shit on the spot. But he got a few joints that I haven't all the way. Bronson, ever since he's been putting out his own shit, instead of being through a label,
Mm.
he's very left field, you know what I'm saying, with his beat choices and with the things that he's talking about. And sometimes I can't really get jiggy with it sometimes. Um, this project is fire.
Mm.
And he's still very much left field with it because this whole like Planet Frog, it's like I don't really know what the fuck he's talking about with Planet Frog, and I don't think he certainly doesn't seem to explain it. Here we go. Johann Sebastian Bach, Crocodile Turbo, Only for Dolphins. These are the last projects that he's did. I
Mm.
didn't really, I listened to him and he's just rapping about some weird shit, and I kind of, but
Which is funny. That's kind of his bag, but you still kind of want it.
yeah, but it needs to connect. It
Yeah.
needs to, your hairline needs to connect here. You know what I mean? And like, he really hit it on this one though. I really, and I don't think that he did anything different that he hasn't done in the last couple joints. I just think that he's extremely talented. He's really funny,
Hmm.
and the things that he raps about, you know what I'm saying, are refreshing to me. And just because it's just him, and I love his personality. And you know what? Not everybody has that personality, and we'll get into what I'll get into next is AZ's project. And the juxtaposition between a Planet Frog and a Do or Die 3 is, exactly what you're getting from Do or Die 3, and that's what you got from Do or Die 3.
Yeah.
And that's why Do or Die 3 is cool, and that's also why Do or Die 3 is not something I'm gonna listen to very often.
It's just
Because it's
cool.
like it's yeah. Whereas this Planet Frog shit, like he really floats on these fucking beats that are just like, what the fuck even is that? Like what am I listening to? And he's got a bunch of these beats that I'm just like, this is wild. The features on this, the I'm still going hard with the Triceratops shit that we talked about with Yachty and Paul Wall.
Yeah.
It's such a great record. The Rock Marciano feature. Rock Marciano always shows up on Bronson projects. They,
Okay.
they, they really
Did he
respect
make
each
that beat or
other.
you don't know?
I haven't looked into. I don't think so. I haven't looked into who the production. It sounds like Party Supplies might be on here for a few of these, but I'm not sure. I'd be, proven wrong and look stupid. I really like Party Supply. I feel like Party Supplies and Action Bronson was the ones that they did their best work together, which is the Blue Chips
Mm.
joints. That was
Yeah.
Party Supplies.
Okay.
The Mayhem Loren feature, of course, Mayhem Loren's always gonna show up with Action Bronson. That shit is crazy. The Olympic Vince Carter joint, I love that shit.
Yo,
Where they
that
actually,
shit.
I'm a problem when I show up with the fro like Olympic Vince Carter. You know
I
what I'm
just I
saying?
just
Like,
remember this.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
baby fro living
And
Vince Carter.
he said, he was like, I used to have the choreography. Me and my mans used to have the choreography to Soul for Real, and everybody that you see used to hold the steel. You know what I'm saying? Like I love. He's so funny, man. And him and the only problem I have with this record is that out here there's no Big Body Bess on here, and if
Mm.
I need Big Body Bess on every Action Bronson tape. But knowing Big Body Bess, that nigga's probably locked up for like 18 months. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna get out and be
Man.
like, whatever. So moving on to Do or Die 3 or Do or Die 3. Do or Die 3 has some moments for sure. Do or Die 3, Do or Die Love My Life is incredible. The Yeah, love my, Do or Die 3 is just, So High, records like that. I don't really need them. Like the remaking the shit that, the Give Me the World shit with Jadakiss. Like I was like, this is, and Large P made that beat, but that shit was
Mm.
ass. Like I was like, damn man, Large P bro made that. I don't want to diss him like that, but I really didn't feel that shit. And like my main critique of that project is like, it's dope, but it's not moving the needle for me. It's you doing what you always do, and I like to see you outside doing what you always do, but I'm not gonna really pay
How many
much
tracks
attention
on
to
it?
that. Not too many, like 13 or 14. It's
Okay.
not too deep. It's fun. It's like a quick 35 minutes. But the last thing I'm gonna touch on, we got it. We can touch on. I know OT the real man. I really like that cat, man. I was listening to it this morning. This Davey
I knew
shit.
it.
Yo, man, he's really in his bag with this For the Love shit, man.
Hmm.
He's like filling the space that Drake left
Mm.
with all of these female joints, but like he's doing it in such a harder way because Dave East is so much harder of an MC than Drake is because he's just a harder, he's from Harlem. He's just a hard, everything about his aesthetic is hard. Like he's
It's so
a
funny because
street cat.
it's funny because like that's what I don't like about him. Like his
Yeah.
voice make it sound like he's trying to be this hard dude that he already look like he is. So why are you doing all that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the voice thing throws me off, but I'm a big fan of him. Yo, this series is really, really dope. And you can tell that with the 2.5, they probably just threw together the joints that didn't make the first two
Hmm.
because I think this shit is resonating. People must, he's put three of these out now. I'm pretty sure that these shits are resonating.
Pretty rapidly too, though.
I'm gonna give you the list of things that Dave East has touched on For the Love 2.5, and all these because the songs from part one and part two are all on there.
Mm.
He has sampled Keith Sweat, Anita Baker, Intro, The Gap Band, Sade, Mint Condition, Blackstreet, R. Kelly, and more. These are all, you know what I'm saying? Like these projects are fun,
Hmm.
but these projects are also very well done. Like they shout back to a time of just some of the best black music that there is, man. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to that list of people that I just ran off, like the funny shit is the joint with Uncasa. I love the joint with the Gap Band shit.
Yeah.
You hear it in you hear it in in the ad libs where he's like, yo, this used to be my mother's shit. My mother loved this shit. You know what I'm saying? And like that's why I love that
Yeah,
project. You know what I mean? So shout out to Dave East and Mike Keys and Scram Jones. It's an incredibly creative, super dope way of making a mixtape really, really different. And I really feel like this project is really special. So
yeah. I
talking about
definitely
rap.
yeah, that joint. It's funny because it's the Dave East projects. We started the show and I ain't like that nigga, but
Yeah,
I ain't like him, but I respect him. I'm like, he nice. I don't fuck with him though. But these
yeah.
joints is really like I said, it's a tape that you could just throw in and enjoy,
Hell
regardless.
yeah.
You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I threw it in on the ride to go somewhere at a birthday party. I was like, wow, this shit is fun.
Little Simz, do you fuck with her before we get out of here?
I love Lil Simz. I'm going to be pumping her shit in a minute. She put out a little Lucy joint.
Yeah,
Little Sims to me is when you say Black Girl Magic, I see Lil Sims, man.
okay.
She's brilliant. She's brilliant. I love her voice. She's super nice on the mic. She got something to say, and I'm absolutely gonna be pumping these four joints to see what's good. I did
I
on
mean,
the list of things. I
like I
was
said,
like, damn, I didn't even see this.
it wasn't like it was 3 weeks ago, but it definitely was a good amount of music that came out this week, bro. Like a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, talking about rap.
Talking about rap. Talking about voting.
Enough days for enough eyes to see them. Some folks don't vote. Some folks don't vote. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm leaving that shit right. No, how
Chilling, man. How
you?
you feeling? I need
That's
to figure
crazy.
out. I need to figure out what. Rather.
Seeing American flags made me iffy.
Oh, yeah, this is an American Family
I know
Fitness
exactly what it
flag.
was.
Yo, like somebody said that. I was like, hold up, Kim Wasabi. Somebody said the other day, um, like asking about the presence of the American flag, and does this shit make you uncomfortable? And a whole bunch of people was like, fuck yeah. And I was like, yeah. When you see people driving around with the fucking flag on their trucks and shit, like,
That's a whole nother level. I was thinking about the fact that you can't even just assume that it's military based when you see somebody have an American flag on their front door. It's not
oh
even
yeah,
it's not that simple anymore. Back in the
oh
day, you let it
nah.
slide because of that. Like you see somebody in a truck with a flag, you know what time it is. Welcome back to Talm Bout. If you ain't tapped in yet, now's the time. Mondays, we got Sunday morning recaps. Wednesdays, 4 for 10s with the people you know and the ones you should. Saturdays, me and the homie 3, we talking about rap. So all week, every week, we got y'all. Subscribe, hit the bell, and tap in. Now I'm talking about.